Good morning from a different angle. But good morning nonetheless. My name is Tammy Bond, and it is my privilege and pleasure to serve as your platform assistant today. Welcome to Unity Church for Creative Living, a world-class ministry dedicated to learning, growing, and serving. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And if you guys are watching this recording from the Jacksonville area, come on in. We invite you to share in the warm, loving energy. So we look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Now, I would like to tell you a little bit about our guest speakers and musicians. Armand is an award-winning songwriter and an inspirational international speaker whose enthusiastic presence inspires us all to love life passionately. Angelina's heart-opening and angelic voice draws from many languages. She was classically trained at Indiana University and was formerly with Epcot Center. They are international performers using songs, stories, and humor to remind us to open our hearts and remember that we are meant to experience heaven on earth, right here, right now. So without further ado, please help me welcome Armand and Angelina.
We could do a whole sermon just on optimism. That is one of the most wonderful things in the world to me. I'm alive today because of optimism, I really believe. Gandhi said one time, if it weren't for my sense of humor and optimism, I would have taken my life. And I think we can all relate to a little bit of that, at least at some point in our lives. So I will just tell you my favorite definition of optimism, what separates it from pessimism. Pessimists say the sky is falling, and optimists say, no, it just appears that way because we're ascending. Okay, so we're gonna do the meditation now, and we'll start with a very simple chant, and the words are simple. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am. Peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am. Peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. And we invite you now to close your outer eyes, relax your body. It can be helpful to bring your attention to your breath. As we breathe in that peace, that eternal peace of God, we know that our belief in divine order and our optimism facilitates more peace. allows us to feel more faith in the moment, even and especially when we don't understand it. Peace need not only be experienced in the calm times, but as we go within and quiet the voices of the ego, we can experience peace in the storm. Allow the music now to take you on your very own sacred journey in to the peace of God. Melt into the silence. Very gently now, begin to bring your attention to your physical body your physical surroundings, your chair, and this sacred sanctuary where we come to be reminded of the truth of who we are and share that remembrance with each other and the world at large. We are grateful for this soul family and tribe. And we know that all is well. Thank you, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God. And so it is. All is well. All is well. God is balanced. All is well. There's perfection everywhere. All is well. And so it is.
All right, good morning. We're so happy to be here, and today our talk is called Turn the Other Cheeks. And what we're going to be talking about is forgiveness and trust.
Yes, and one of my great teachers as a child taught me about kindness and forgiveness and did it in a magical way, so magical that it's hard to even look back and think it was real. They've made a documentary about this wonderful man. They even made a movie about him with Tom Hanks, which we experienced recently. My aunt is in a senior living resort in Louisiana, and they presented that, and we got to see it again, and just fabulous to watch and listen and connect with this wonderful being. We're going to give this a little tribute.
He was always trying to show kids it's okay to show your emotion. You know, so if you're happy, laugh. If you're sad, it's okay to cry. And so he gave kids permission to have those feelings and show them.
Amen. Whew. It's okay that my arm got stuck because I'm good enough. Doggone it, people like me. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Good morning, boys and girls. I say boys and girls because we are all children of God. You know how I know we're all children of God? Because no spiritual text ever said we were adults of God. You never read that, did you? Because it's not true. Children of God. So welcome to Angelina and Armand's neighborhood. It's a special day. I don't think we've done the Mr. Rogers thing in a while here, but it's really very valuable to me. One of the few consistent things from my childhood was Mr. Rogers. So it's customary to have a special word or phrase. And today, in alignment with our service, the phrase is turn the other cheek. Let's say that together. Turn the other cheek. And that was given to us by our great way shower. Now, I've always had a little bit of a dynamic relationship with that phrase, especially when I started doing Brene Brown work and boundary definitions and things like that. I started having a little challenge. You know, now in the Old Testament, it was said differently. It wasn't said turn the other cheek. It was said an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, which pretty much left everyone blind and toothless. So we have evolved. We evolved into another way of being, and there's a certain amount of animal nature in an eye and an eye, tooth for a tooth, that in the animal kingdom has some of that inherent. But we're evolving out of our pure animal nature and evolving into a more holistic being. And so then our great way shower, Jesus the Christ, says, forget that. How about turn the other cheek? And there's a lot of metaphysical energy around that. It's not necessarily a physical thing as much as it is turn the other cheek of anger and resentment and feeling like you've been wronged, and see the light in whatever's going on, and of course see forgiveness. But I still took it a little bit literal. Turn the other cheek. You know, somebody does something to you, you don't say, let's do this side too. It didn't hurt enough over there. Now, who's done a version of that in relationships and things like that? We've done a version of that, and it hurts. You just get whacked twice. So setting some boundaries is very, very healthy, and you can actually be more loving when you do set those boundaries. Angelina's going to talk a little bit about that. Well, no, soon, yes. We have a format, but we're going to work around it. So I thought, well, wait a second. What if that word got mistranslated when it went from Aramaic to Greek to English and all that? What if, you think there's a possibility that some of the original teachings may have gotten flipped around a little bit over the 2,000 years? Yeah. So that's why it's important. You know, I have some of my friends that are in more traditional churches, and they say, you cherry pick, Armand. And I say, you're right. I cherry pick. I pick the things that I believe are in alignment with God, in alignment with what Jesus would say, not necessarily because I read it somewhere or somebody told me that they said it. Let me check and cherry pick what aligns with my truth. So it's important to cherry pick. It's important to cherry pick your close friends. It is. It's to cherry pick your neighborhood. Cherry picking is a beautiful thing. So I had one of my friends say one time, well, I'm not into that stuff you're into. They're into channeling. That's weird. I said, oh yeah, well, what are you into? Well, I'm into the Bible. I said, okay, so where'd that come from? Well, it was received from a higher power, from men and women that wrote it down. I said, channeling. Anyway, I get confused sometimes. I got kicked out of Sunday school a few times. So I thought, what if in the translation, the word was originally plural, turn the other cheeks and walk away. Don't hit them back, but don't just stand there unboundaried and allow for more. So you'll never hear that anywhere else, that turn the cheeks was really plural, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about boundaries right now. So setting boundaries is a good thing when we also are, this is about forgiveness. And so we forgive, but we want to set boundaries so that we take care of ourselves as well. So sometimes a forgiveness is where you're going to let someone go. And so your boundary is, I can no longer be in a relationship with you. And so I feel that boundaries is kind of a self-love thing, that we're taking care of ourselves. And I'm going to tell a story about something like that we had a friend, and their behavior was not kind, loving, and a lot of gaslighting and confusion, and so we had to let go of that relationship. So I know when my forgiveness work is done, I go, okay, can I see that person? Like if I run into that person in a store or at a party, am I going to be able to be okay with that? It's not like I have to go up and say and be their best friend again. But if I have anything that doesn't feel right, then it's still more healing and more forgiving that I do. And being, totally forgiving, again, doesn't mean you're going to open up that relationship and be friends again. But for me, it's just like with that friend, when I think about if I ever ran into him, I would not be comfortable at all. And so then I go, okay, well, I have a little more work in that forgiveness right now.
You know how you know you've done all your forgiveness work? You won't be here.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So
exactly.
We still get to work on it. So yes, forgiveness You know, forgiveness is part of the package, okay? It's part of the package to feel connected with everybody, because lack of forgiveness and resentment separates you that way. So everybody deserves your forgiveness, even if they've done something that's unforgivable, okay? So Brene Brown says, everyone deserves your love, but not everyone deserves your trust. So I like to think of what she's talking about kind of like your inner child and your spirit. So you forgive for your spirit to connect with the higher truth, but you set boundaries for your inner child so they're not put in situations that could harm them. So as Angelina was saying, I think when your boundaries are intact and your forgiveness work is intact, then you can see someone. I like the way Marianne Williamson says it. Just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you want to do lunch. And so those are important to go. So let's talk a little bit about what I consider to be the 5 basic stages of forgiveness. So the first stage would be something like, I really need to forgive this person. That's sort of like a pre-forgiveness, like getting the ball rolling. There's something inside of you that's hurting, okay, and you want to heal that. It's like, you've probably heard this, but it's so good it's worth repeating. Not forgiving someone and being resentful towards someone is like taking emotional poison and hoping the other person's going to die. You've probably heard that before, but that's a good metaphor because it hurts you. Half the time when you're resentful and angry about someone, they've gone on and doing their lives and they forgot all about you. It's you that's holding on to that, and that will lower your vibration, take away your happy chemicals. We've done a service here before all about the happy drugs that we can create, and forgiveness does help create more happy drugs. So that's your first stage, just realizing that you want to go there. Your next stage, you might want to take your inner child and your ego with you when you go here because they don't want to feel left out. They want to make sure you hurt them. So you might say, okay, I forgive that jerk for what they did. Okay, it's not ideal all the way, but it's kind of a good start. It's kind of like saying, I know that they hurt you. I know they did a jerky thing to you, but we're going to work on forgiving them. It's kind of like holding their hand through the forgiveness. And then you might go into the next phase at some point, because here's the deal. It's not like I need to forgive and you can necessarily just do it. Sometimes the slow, gradual healing is more powerful. One of my friends said something to me, what's slow is fast. And I went, explain that to me? That sounds like an oxymoron. She goes, no, you get to the end quicker if you do it slowly than if you try to go and keep going back, and you're not doing your process. So it's important to be gentle with ourselves, even though the spiritual teachings are very clear, that we're gentle with our human selves as we're embracing those spiritual teachings. So one of the spiritual teachings that we are taught in Unity is everyone and ourselves are doing the best we can at any given time, given our current state of consciousness. Now, I know that makes sense, and we all believe that, but that helps us get to the next stage of forgiveness, to know that. Even when people and ourselves are doing things that we're not happy with, to know that on some level it's all in divine order, and that is working the way it is because everyone and ourselves are doing the very best we can at any given moment, given our current state of consciousness. That will relieve some of the judgment. How can you judge something that you believe was doing the best they could, even if it's not cool, and even if you need to set boundaries, and even if you never want to talk to them again, okay? So then a little higher vibration, maybe I think it's the 4th stage of forgiveness, might be, well, if everything's in divine order, and everything will be okay in the end, and this too shall pass, and all is well, then wouldn't it also be true that everyone and ourselves are not only doing the best we can at any given moment, but on some cosmic level, the only thing we can in any given moment based on our current consciousness and our co-creative energies with everyone else? Hours the thing that helped me realize that when I was a little kid. Did y'all watch those old cartoons where like the hound dog would go out and he would and there was a wolf getting the sheep, and they would fight each other all the time. The hound dog was always trying to keep the wolf out of the sheep's place and all that. But then one episode, they left together and clocked out and then went to a restaurant. Remember that? And I thought, I think there's some truth to that. Our egos will one day clock out and go, oh my goodness, I can't believe I played that part. My heart loved you all along. I like to believe that when we make our transition, that our pure love comes back and we realize that all those little dramas were just, as Shakespeare say, part of the acting that we were doing to play out our part and help other people play out their part. So that can raise your vibration a little more and get a higher level of forgiveness. So you've done your pre-work, you've realized everybody's doing the best they can, and then you realize on some cosmic level, we're all doing the only thing we can. And here's the great thing about doing the only thing you can. It doesn't mean you can't do it differently next time. It's not saying you're totally forced to do everything a certain way. You raise your consciousness, and then a higher vibrational action will be the only thing you can do at the time, given that consciousness. Now, the final, I believe, kind of the final place of forgiveness, when you would be able to see anybody that's ever hurt you, and you would still be able to be okay, even if with nice, healthy boundaries, would be, I thank that person. I thank that event. That doesn't mean you have to go and give them a thank you card or buy them a present or take them out to dinner. But on an inner level, you thank them and the part they played in the universal drama for giving you what is going to make you a better person. That is the highest, most challenging thing I would say to do to reach that level 5. So we don't necessarily have to be perfect at it, but we can use these steps as an opportunity to move deeper into forgiveness, to where we trust that everything is happening the way it should happen. Okay, so I think I might be ready for a story before we go into the last song, or did I skip something from you?
Well, I was just going to talk about self-forgiveness.
Please do. I'll watch.
Okay. So, it's important to forgive yourself. So you did something unkind or said something unloving, and it's easy to beat yourself up and think, I knew better, I shouldn't do that, I'm embarrassed. If you did something and you're that self-critic inside you makes you wrong and feel bad. Self-forgiveness is an important thing as well to do, because you need to, forgiving yourself is letting go of that energy that's behind it, so you can then not have the self-blame, resentment, anger, I didn't do it right. And so it's good with forgiveness to be kind and loving to yourself, to accept what whatever you said or did, to learn from it, and to know that, like Armand said, we aren't perfect, so we should be okay with being imperfect and just learn from it and maybe do better next time.
And that's kind of like the new frontier, is this whole self-forgiveness thing. We were always taught, love others, love God. But Jesus said, love thy neighbor as thyself. That sort of has implied that you have self-love right there. So I really believe, let me ask you a question. Who here finds it easier to have faith and trust and love of God and love of others than it is for you to have faith and trust and love of yourself? Do you know why that is? You have a lot more ammo against yourself. You've been collecting ammo for years. And as we forgive ourselves, those stockpiles go away. And yes, it's so important. And more and more, I've seen the New Thought movement from 84 till now move more into self-care and forgiveness and self-love and all of those things. It's like that old saying in the airplane. Somebody talks about not getting filled up. I think that's Michael Singer in Gainesville, Florida, who wrote The Untethered Soul. He says, if you're not filled up, it's hard to give anything to anybody else. So if you're on an airplane and the oxygen masks fall, place one on your face, and then place one and help people near you. If you have 2 kids, pick your favorite. That's not really true. Anyway, so yes, that is the new frontier. So my biggest challenge with forgiveness happens with a surrogate mother that I had as a child. For circumstances, I had to be with somebody who did not want to be my surrogate mother, did not really want to have a kid, and it got forced on her against her will. And she had to take care of me because of other situations in our family. Now, that was a real gift to have somebody there. However, when you have somebody taking care of you that does not want to take care of you, they take out that resentment on you, and that happened a lot. It happened for about 50 years because of the trauma bonding that we can have with folks, even if they're not nice to us. It's almost like Stockholm Syndrome, if you've ever heard of that. I never could work with it. So I started working, I wrote this song. When I wasn't there yet, you probably heard the old saying, fake it till you make it. I wrote this song about forgiving her as a prelude to doing the actual forgiveness work because I knew I needed it. And I wrote in all the principles that would help me. And over time, gradually, I was able to do it. I wrote the song, I believe, in 1996. It took me till about 2012 to go through the whole process with her because she was so connected to me, again, trauma bonded. And I finally, in 2012, we both were having kind of a disagreement over the same stuff. You ever notice you talking about the same stuff you did when you were 6 in a lot of ways? And so we both made an agreement that it wasn't working. Having a relationship was not working. We could love and we could forgive, and we ended our contract and have not spoken since. And I know she's much happier because I'm tough to deal with. And I know that I'm much happier that for me, she's tough to deal with. And it was a big thing to let go because you've heard of the biggest lies in the world, like your checks in the mail and things like that. Here's the biggest lie for me. Raise your hand if this has been true for you. If something is difficult in a relationship, I haven't done enough. That is a big lie. You could do it till you're blue in the face, and it will never be enough on some level. And that's where I was. And finally I said, you know what? We've done our work. Let's end the contract. So this is the song called I Forgive You that kind of got me on my path with her as long as it took. And like I said, it's been 12 years, and it's been wonderful. Okay. And this will be the end of our message part. Haunted by the times you made me cry, feeling not quite good enough, not understanding why. Then I blamed you for the hell that I was in, till I burned through my resentments so I could love again. I forgive you, for you know not what you do. When you did those things that hurt so much, you didn't have a clue. Love needs no conditions, it will always see us through. I forgive you, for you know not what you do. I still have an angry thought or two. I don't do well with folks that try to tell me what to do. But I still try to turn the other cheeks. Watch me walk away, you'll know exactly what I mean. But I forgive them, for they know not what they do. When they did those things that hurt so much, they haven't got a clue. Love needs no conditions, it will always see us through. I forgive them, for they know not what they give away, the more you have. Everyone's a mirror of some part of you. It could be anger, but it could be love. I'm gonna choose love. And I'm haunted by the times I made you cry, bringing out the worst in me, not understanding why. We can heal together, can't you see? I can be more loving, but there's one thing that I need. Please forgive me, for I know not what I do. When I'm sometimes am impatient, I haven't got a clue. Love needs no conditions, it will always see us through. Please forgive me, for I know not what I do. Please forgive me, I forgive you. Always forgiven, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you. What a powerful, powerful message. That was awesome. I think that learning to forgive others is challenging, but also remembering to forgive yourself, that's priceless. So God bless you guys. That was awesome. Thank you. We have been truly blessed by you. Now is the time for us to give for what we have received. We will be passing the basket shortly, but we would also like to let you know that you can use your cell phones to click on the QR code that is on the back of the chair that is in front of you. It will take you to our website, and it is a secured website, and you can make your donations that way. Special thanks to those who do recurring payments online. We greatly appreciate that. This opportunity to tithe to UCCL supports our ministry and keeps the natural rhythm of giving and receiving flowing in our hearts and in our lives. So let's take the financial gift that you have and let's take the financial gifts that you have and affirm the offertory blessing together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am richly blessed. Thank you, God. Okay, so mark your calendars. There's always a lot of wonderful and fun things happening here at UCCL. We are in the planning stages for the Fall Festival. I am leading a group and invite anybody interested in joining the planning committee to sign up in the lobby. The Women of Unity will meet here on June 18th at 6:30 p.m. The Unity Men's Group will meet on Tuesday, June 11th at 7 p.m. at Ed Boardman's home. Join us after service today for our UCCL Community Potluck. Everyone is welcome. There is plenty of food for everyone. After the potluck luncheon, Armand and Angelina will offer a native flute play shop. See Helen after the service if you are interested in joining. The cost is just $20. Feel free to pick up a calendar of events in the lobby after the service today. As you can see, the flower market is still here and they are slashing prices, which means they won't be here for very much longer. So be sure to visit. They are still offering a discount on plants, but anything that is marked clearance, there is no further discount on that. So please stop by today.
Imagine now that our poet laureate, James Dillard Freeman, got together with the Reverend James Brown to sing the prayer of protection. I feel good. A 1, 2, 3, 4. The light of God surrounds us. Woo! The love of God enfolds us. Ha! The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's sing it again. The light of God surrounds us. Woo! The love of God enfolds us. Ha! The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's sing it again. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Kiss myself. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you.